What's up? It's your boy Jerome. I'm here with the review from Married to Madison, Los Angeles. This is season 1. This is episode number 6, and this episode is titled Defective Crystal Ball. So, without further ado, let's hop in to the video. Alright, so I'm gonna start with Shanique. It's not very much with Shanique. So we see Shanique, she is with her kids. Look like she just got off of work. So she's getting ready to fix dinner for her kids. And, she's talking with her daughter. And, I guess there's like a mean girl in her daughter's school that her daughter doesn't necessarily get along with. I forget what she called the little girl. What did she call it? She didn't call her a bully. She called her something. I forgot what the hell she called her. But, her daughter, she's just asking her daughter how is things going with the situation. And her daughter's like, what, I think that we're getting to a point where we're kind of getting on a good foot with one another. So then, Shanique is like, well, mommy has a mean girl in her group. And I'm like, would I necessarily call Asha a mean girl? No, I think Asha's more so passive aggressive. I think Asha's just passive aggressive. I don't think Asha's a mean girl. I think she's just passive aggressive. She wants other people to she just wants other people to take care of her shit, and she don't want to deal with it. So I don't necessarily think I would call Asha a mean girl or whatever she kept calling her. And I really wouldn't call Shanique a mean girl. Although I think what Shanique said in last week's episode, it wasn't last week, it was the week before. What she said, I don't think that was right to imply that there might have been cheating on Dr. Larry's part. Although, I actually really could see it. But, I don't think either one of them are mean girls. Like I said, I just think Asha's passive aggressive. And I think Shanique might just have a little tad bit of insensitivity. Just a little bit. But she feels like she needs to work on her issues with Asha, which I definitely agree with that, because this whole thing between her and Asha is really stupid and it's really trivial because of an ex-girlfriend that she told you was coming to the party. But okay, we're gonna move on, because it just really ain't that deep to me. All right, so next we got Dr. Imani. So Dr. Imani is at her house and her mom is there. I think her mom's name is Paula. So, she and her mom, they sit down and they have a conversation. She asks her about her day. She's telling her about a patient that he said he felt like, I guess somebody was stabbing him in the chest. He might be having a heart attack. Why would you tell your psychiatrist that? Why wouldn't you go to a doctor, like an ER or physician, to get your Moving on. So then she starts talking about her dad. And her mom was like, well, have you heard anything else from that? She's like, no, haven't really heard anything from him since I texted him. And her mom is just trying to tell her, so her mom's telling her, he's really just gonna keep pushing you away. And then Dr. Imani tells us that she knows that she has a sister by her dad, and she knows that because some years ago when she got a number in a package from, I don't know where she got it from, but there was a number on there. She called the number, she found out she had a sister. So she says that she's never met her sister, and maybe if she does meet her, she might mention something about their dad. And then her mom was like, really? Like, let it go. And I think what it is her mom is trying to protect her from getting her heart broken, because she's like, he left you once, like, why don't you think he could do it again? So again, in a nutshell, her mom is really just basically trying to protect her from being heartbroken by her dad. Don't get your expectations, don't have high expectations. And then when you meet the man, or even if you do meet him, when or if you meet him, your expectations get lower, 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 and lower. So I definitely like what her mom said to her. So then we see her husband, Phil, and her son, and they're at home, they're talking about his school. So then she comes in and she's just getting caught up on, both of their day, and then her son leaves. So then she's left talking to Phil, and, he's asking her about her dad. Has she heard anything from him? She says, no, she hasn't heard anything from him. But she's like, what? I do want to reach out to my sister. and Phil is so very supportive of her and wanted to reach out to her sister. I think it is cool that she wants to reach out to her sister, and I kind of agree with what her mom said. Like, reach out to your sister. That's no problem, but don't go into it thinking that it's going to be a key to getting to know your dad. Just just go into your relationship with your sister as being that. You and your sister having a sister relationship, you two getting to know each other, you two getting to strengthening your bond with one another. But don't go into it thinking, hey, I get on good with her, I can talk to my dad. Let that go. He's proven to you that he doesn't want to be in your life. And once she can rationalize that in her head, I think she'll be better off in the long run. Just be like, you know what? That's my dad. He gave me life. He gave me a sister. But as far as anything else goes, he's just a perfect stranger to me. And I think that's how she should just go into things with her dad. All right, next, you guys, we got Dr. Burton. So Mac is back in LA with Dr. Burton. The kids are with their grandparents out in Florida. So Mac and Burton go out to dinner. So they're talking about the kids, and Mac is telling Burton that he doesn't want Burton to be away from so long that the kids get used to her being away. But Burton is like, I'm making steps to do and to get the family here permanently. She says, I'm trying to find a permanent job. I'm also still looking for homes, but when it comes down to the homes, he shoots her down because it's always something. Either it doesn't have a pool, or it feels like it's gonna be too pricey. Now, I've watched Roxanne's videos, Forest Rocks, and she I think people in her comments have told her that Mac is a real estate agent. So here's my thing about that. If Mac's a real estate agent, why does he have Burton out there in California looking for homes? As a real estate agent, I think you should be able to speak to, find some colleagues that out there and, look at it. You, as a real estate agent, you can't tell me he don't know what's a good area to live in, how much the areas are asking for. Like, I'm pretty sure he has access to find out that information. So for him to have Burton running around there like a wild goose with her head cut off, I think it's ultimately Mac that is trying to, thwart Burton to moving from Florida to, Los Angeles, because I ultimately think that Mac wants Burton to live permanently in Florida, but Burton wants to live in California, where she feels like there's more job opportunities out there for her, which I actually do understand that, because Florida is more so like retirement home and touristy, depending on the area you go to. But that's my opinion on Burton and Mac. I would love to know everybody else's opinions on it. Let me know what you guys think about it, because that's just my personal opinion, how I feel, and I could be wrong, but it's just perception. That's what the perception I'm getting, that Mac wants Burton in Florida, not in California. All right, guys. Lastly, we have Dr. Noel. So Dr. Noel, she is having auditions for a party that she's having. I think she's turning 40, and she's has Asher there with her. So she lets us know that when she was in college, before she went to med school, she was a dancer, and she was dancing for dancing with MC Hammer. But then she went to medical school, and that's pretty cool to know. So then, they're talking about the party that she's having, and they're talking about where she's having it and how many people she's inviting her. So she's keeping it kind of small. It's about 50 people or so. But she does tell her that, hey, I just want to give you a heads up that I invited Shanique to this party. So more than likely, Shanique is coming to the party. So then later we see everyone, they are getting ready for the party. And there's an intuitive there. I guess you would call her like a medium, like, and I'm like, oh my God, we're finna get Mbele tease from Real Housewives of Atlanta, when Kim and Mbele got into it last season. So then Asha, she is there, and she's talking to Noel, and she's telling Noel that, hey, guess what? I'm not pregnant, but I did get the role on Days of Our Lives. And I'm like, she did? Like, did I miss it? Because I watch Days of Our Lives I watch Days of Our Lives every day, and I have not saw Asha on Days of Our Lives, but that's neither here nor there. Must have been a walk on and walk off role. Just saying. So then we see Jasmine and Shanique, and they're on their way to the party. And Shanique is talking about how she wants to apologize to Asha and she wants to be cordial with Asha. But Jasmine, on the other hand, she just wants the shit to end with her and Imani. Deaded. Don't talk about it no more. All right. So, we see Imani. She is talking to Noel. And, they're talking about her dad. And she's like, have you heard anything else from him? She says, no, I haven't heard anything from him. But I am going to reach out to my sister. And, she asked her, well, have you talked to Jasmine since your party? She says, no, I really haven't talked to Jasmine since the party. But I did text her. And Noel's like, you know what, Imani, I didn't think you meant anything malicious about what you said. I don't think she was being malicious either. I just don't think Imani thought too much in what she was saying when she said that looked like a drug dealer. I just don't think she was thinking when she said that. All right, so then we have Jasmine and Shanique. They're talking about it as well. And then Imani walks over there where Jasmine and Shanique and her aunt and mom are. And she's like, you know what, Jasmine, can I pull you to the side and have a conversation with you? And Jasmine's like, no, you cannot. You can have a conversation with her right here in front of me. So she does. She says, you know what, Jasmine, I just want to apologize to you. And she says, I wasn't really thinking when I said what I said. And, Jasmine says, you know what, I don't really accept your apology. And I'm like, well, because she said she didn't think that her apologies was sincere, so she didn't accept it. I'm like, okay, well, that means you need to let this go because she's already apologized. You just didn't accept it, so let it go. Don't talk about it again. All right, so next we, Dr. Noel tells the girls, you know what? I have a surprise for you guys. Let's go upstairs. So they go upstairs, and that is where the intuitive Sahara is. And they're like, girl, wait a minute. What the hell is this? Like, are we getting our palms read? Like, is this some Miss Cleo type shit? So, they get up there, and so Jasmine asked her, where do you get your information from? So Sahara tells her where she got her information. I'm like, I'm glad somebody asked that question because that's what I was thinking. Like, I don't believe in psychics or mediums or anything like that. I just don't believe in it. I've always been taught, don't deal with that. Don't mess with that. Funny story though. I did call Miss Cleo when I was a kid. Who was my mama ever pissed when she got that phone bill in the mail? She's like, I have never called. She said, Jerome. I'm like, yep. She said, who have you called? I said, Miss Cleo. And she was pissed. Whoo, she was pissed. So then Sahara, she tells Asha that she's gonna have twins. I'm like, oh, okay, if you say so. So then she reads Dr. Burton, and she's telling Burton that there is a wall up and how she feels like she's judging people. I'm like, huh? Now, your first reading with Asha might have been on point, but your reading with Burton is kind of off. Minus the wall and the she was talking about, I guess, moving and whatnot. That kind of was on point, but the judging thing, I'm like, who does she judge? Nobody. So then Burton was just one here for it, and she gonna spray the girl gonna spray herself. Talking about, whew. I'm like, girl, if you don't spray yourself out the door, like you being extra for no reason. So she tells Burton she can leave, and Burton is like, you know what, fine, I'm dipping out. So then Jasmine steps up into the seat, and she asks Jasmine to say her name. She says it for her. She's like, you're not from here. She's like, nope, born in Inglewood. And then she's like, you just got into a new relationship. She says, like, nope, been with my husband for 8 years. Try again. So then she asks Jasmine what's her husband's name. She's like, I'm not saying my husband's name because he's irrelevant to this. Now, I did find Jasmine on Instagram, and she does have a picture of her husband on there. I don't know, I can't remember her Instagram name, but she does have a picture of her husband up there. She did not tag him. She doesn't put his IG name up there. She doesn't even put she doesn't have his real name on there. But he definitely does exist. So then she tells her that there's a shadow around she and her husband. And Jasmine's like, girl, fuck you. I'm out of here. Like, you couldn't tell me nothing about my husband, but now there's a shadow around me and my husband. Yeah, that shadow's name is Noel and Asha. But girl, I'm dipping the fuck out of here. But you guys, that was Married to Medicine Los Angeles. Like the video, leave your comments, subscribe to the channel, and just let me know how you guys feel about the episode and the season so far. And I will see you guys tomorrow for Love and Hip Hop Atlanta.